31 years old. I'm from Tampa and Quincy, Florida. But really majority from Tampa.
What do you do for a living now?
I'm an entrepreneur. I sell women's clothing.
What's the name of your brand?
Bezos Collection.
Where can people find you?
On Instagram, I have a web page, thebezoscollection.com. Instagram, Bezos Collection, BIZOS Collection. Facebook, Bezos Collection.
Okay.
Or we have a suite right here on Bush.
4817
East Bush Boulevard, Suite 215.
There you go. Okay, so let's start out with, you say you grew up in Tampa and in Quincy, Florida.
Yeah.
So let's start out. Which one were you born in?
Tampa.
Tampa. Okay, and how was that?
Being
raised in Tampa. How was it being raised in Tampa?
Okay, I went to Quincy when I was 7. Like, I don't really remember. That's kind of crazy. I don't know if it happens to everybody, but I don't remember anything like really like before me going to Quincy. Like, I remember like, okay, I was at my grandmother's house, but I don't remember like birthday parties. And I know I had them. I like seen pictures, but I only remember like Quincy. And then coming back to Tampa.
Okay. So when you moved to Quincy, who did you move to Quincy with?
With my father, his wife, and her 2 kids.
And what was that like?
Crazy.
So you say crazy. Why would you say it was crazy?
I mean, because it was just like a different environment.
Describe Quincy. Like what type
Quincy is, well, now it's more clean, but back then, not for dirt roads, trailers, hogs.
Country.
I mean, country. Too country.
Okay. So you say you were 7 years old when you moved to Quincy.
Yeah, I was. I stayed there from the ages of 7 to 10 years old.
So is your dad originally from Quincy?
Yes.
Okay. Was he ever lived in Tampa?
I guess he was kind of like a Rolling Stone, so
okay.
He probably came through stuff like that. I don't really know the depth.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. All right. And then when you moved to Quincy, do you know why you moved to Quincy?
My mother had went to prison.
Your mother went to prison.
So, and my grandmother, I don't really know that story, but I know that she went, once I got older, I knew that she went to prison, and that's why my dad came and got us.
So your dad, you say he was married. Now, how long was he married?
I can't even say, because we didn't even go to the wedding, and I don't even understand that, but I don't know if we were so young, but I just know they had like a wedding, like on the boat and stuff, and we wasn't there.
When you say we, who was we?
Me, my brother, and my sister.
So you all have the same mom and the same dad?
Yeah.
Okay, and how many siblings is it? Just you 3?
Well, my dad, he's have a couple other kids. So I only know like two or three of them, but it's other outside of us. But us 3 was like the main children that everyone knew. Like the other ones was like I said, he was a Rolling Stone, so they was like different places. So I don't really know them. I don't really know them.
Now you say you weren't invited to the wedding. How do you know you weren't invited?
Because we wasn't there. All I remember is seeing pictures, and then like your dad's married, so it's like, oh.
Did you guys ever ask like, well?
No, but it was kind of like, and I can't even remember if her children was there, but I just know that we wasn't there, and then next thing you know, we moved out there. He married his wife, so.
What was she like?
She was like very frustrated. Like, now that I'm older, I still don't justify it, but now I kind of like understand. Like I said, he was a Rolling Stone, so it was like he was there, and then he wasn't there, and then he type would be gone for like months at a time.
Months,
like he.
Not even weeks, days.
I was young, so it was like he was gone a lot of time, like a long time. So it kind of took a toll on her and us, and she was just like very kind of like physically abusive to like everybody, even her children.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was like that.
So when you say physically abusive, like what do you mean?
Like whippings, like after whippings, like it's like you on eggshells. Like, oh yeah.
Like for any little thing.
It was.
And when you say abusive now, a whooping is a whooping. I mean, we've
Yeah.
all gotten them. You said abusive, so it's like, was it like?
It was like not with this. It was just like bad whippings, like not normal.
Not normal. Okay.
not normal. And like I said, it wasn't just us. It was her kids too. And it was like, your husband's gone for this time. He leave you with his 3 kids. Like I stated, now that I'm older, I don't justify it, but I kind of understand it. Like, you're gone. Like, we're not the best of kids, and you just like anything. You come home from work, he ain't here. The kids to tore up the house, and you know, you just. You know.
So how do you think that affected you as an adult, living with them?
I mean,
You think
that situation I don't know, because like I'm kind of past that. It's kind of like, I don't know. I don't have any children, but I know not to do my niece and nephews like that. I try to, you know, everybody's gonna get angry. I try not to be on edge or like whooping, because I know how it feels to like to get a whooping for any little
so? You
thing.
try to monitor your temperature.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Now, do you feel like you let the kids run over you?
No.
No.
Yeah. No.
No.
No. I let some stuff slide. I'm like the cool auntie, but
because you know sometimes when you feel like you've been abused as a child, you may like.
No, because they get whoopings. It's just that like I try not like get emotional, like you know.
You don't let your feelings.
Yeah, like if I'm going through something and my boyfriend made me mad, I try not to like take that out on them.
Okay.
They actually like my niece and nephew actually like my happy place.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so you were at Quincy and then you left Quincy at what age?
10.
10, and then you came back to Florida.
Yes.
And then is this when your mom got out of prison?
I don't know. I don't know how long she did or what, but I know when we got back, she was like on the fight to get us back. So we stayed with my grandmother for a little bit, and then we moved with her.
You moved with
my mother.
Your mother. Okay. Now, do you care to share why your mom was in prison?
I don't know at that time. I don't know. I was young, so I just know that's where she was at, and like I said, once I got a little older, that's when I'm kind of smart, so I kind of pieced everything together, and everything was like kind of told to us, but not at the time. So we was kind of unaware of like what was what. We just know that we were here, then we were there, and then we was back here.
So living with your mom, you're 10 now. Was that middle school? That's still elementary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, elementary. So what was that transition like?
My mom was cool. She wasn't the one like. Growing up, I kind of dealt with favoritism. So, she treated us all equally. Like, she did. She was doing it. So, it wasn't bad. I was actually kind of happy to get back with her because everybody, my mom has 4 children. Mm-hmm. And my older sister, her dad always, was like more wealthy. Like, not even wealthy. Like, he was more established than everyone else's dad. So she always had like that good life. And then it was us 3. And it's 1 boy, 2 girls. So my little sister, she's the baby. And my brother, he's the only boy. And then it's just me. So I'm like the middle child. So it was like, okay, it's just Shaye right there. This the only boy. This the baby girl. And then the middle child. So I don't know if anybody had ever been the middle child. So they know like sometimes that person doesn't get as much attention as the other one. And it kind of like... I always call myself like the ugly duckling that groomed into like the beautiful swan.
So, okay, when you say they got more attention, what do you mean by that? Like, do you saying like they got more things than you, or like...
I mean...
It's just... Come on now.
I think that they got more attention. Like, it was always... My brother, like, he's the only boy. So, you know, they're going to be like, oh, the only boy. Then he's like kind of like a junior or the second. So he was just kind of like worship, like, oh, the boy, like, you know.
Boys tend to get a little bit more leeway than the girls automatically. So I get that part.
And then it's my sister. So, you know, girls, we're all of us like a year apart. So we get into an argument or whatever like that. I push you push me, you go cry. I'm going to get in trouble. It's plenty of times that it's always was me.
And so it was always you taking the fault.
Yeah.
Nobody else. I get what you're saying. And, okay, repeat the order for me. It was, who's first?
I have an older sister. That's the one that was staying with her father.
Okay.
So she wasn't in the household. And then I have a brother. Then it's me. And it's my little sister.
Okay. And your little sister, which one is the mother of, not your little sister, is it your little sister that's the mother of your 2 nieces and nephews?
My brother, I have nieces and nephews with my brother and...
The ones that live with you?
Oh, my sister.
The little one?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you say she was the smallest, you were the middle, and then your brother, and you have an older sister. Where was she?
She was with her father.
So, did she primarily live with her father?
Yeah, she's always stayed with him. She came back when I was like 12 to stay with my mother.
Where is she now?
She stays in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. All right. So, growing up, as you got older, how do you feel like that favoritism channeled you in your adult world?
I feel like it made me stronger.
It made you stronger? It made you, like, independent? Not
Yeah, very independent. Mama told me when I was young I was always independent. So it kind of made me, like... Sometimes I tell myself I'm too independent, and then sometimes it's like... It made you feel like, oh, I don't need nobody. Like, you know that attitude. And it stuck with me all my life.
It stuck with you all your life. So, now you're what?
31.
31. Okay, so when you say you were independent, what made your mom feel like you were such an independent child?
Because she told me when we used to play school, I never forget this, we used to play school, and I won't say I'm smarter than them, but I catch on faster. Mm-hmm. So they were like, she said, I used to always be like, I do it myself. She was like, I kind of like self-taught myself a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. My brother, I even taught him how to tie his shoes and stuff. Like, I was always kind of like more advanced. Mm-hmm. I mean, they smart, but I've always been like more advanced than them.
Let's take it to high school. So, around this time, you're kind of finding yourself, you're learning yourself, and what was high school like for you? Where were you at this point?
High school? What? How old was when you start high school? Like, I was
about 14, maybe 13.
I can't even tell you because high school...
What high school did you attend?
Middleton.
Okay.
I didn't even like really stay in high school, like, cause I like went to a program, and then I was fighting, got kicked out. So
you said you went to a program. What kind of program?
It's like a juvenile detention program.
Okay. So, what led you there?
Just fighting and stealing, just growing up.
So you say you were fighting and stealing. So, okay. What made you get into the fights? Because you kept saying, like, you got into a lot of fights. So what do you feel like was the fights, was the cause of the fights?
I can't even tell you. Just like this demeanor, like, nobody ain't gonna try me, and being a good friend, and stuff like that. Like, the normal.
Right. So, okay, being a good friend. Let's talk about that. So, growing up, you do tend to meet people. What are some childhood friends that you can remember having that may have made an impact on your life?
Made an impact.
Or not made an impact. Just what are some things you remember about coming into friendships?
I can't even tell you because I really... friends. Friends is...
All right, well, let's start with this. What's a friend that you have now that you've had for... Who's your longest friend that you have now?
My best friend.
Your best friend. What's her name?
KK.
KK. Okay. And when did you guys meet?
High school, 9th grade, I think.
9th grade. So at Middleton?
Yeah.
Okay. And that friendship has transpired over the years. So what was that friendship like?
We're real good friends. Like, we have a few, like, we bump a few heads, but I think she truly knows how to deal with me. And I feel like that's what comes with the friend. Like, you got to know, like, space, like, don't talk to her right now, or I'm going to let her cool down.
Okay. So you say you were in high school and you went to the juvenile program. So what kind of led to that?
Fighting and stealing, like, I was going in and out of Dub. That's the juvenile detention center. So eventually I had to go to a program. And what let me go into those things, because, I wasn't raised in the best household. So, you get tired of, like, different stuff happening. You want to look this way. You want to look that way. You see people around you, like, and that's the take I have on. Like, you see, we always kind of influenced by somebody else. You see this person with the Jordans on, and then you can't get it. Or, So seeing my mom, like, things kind of really took a rocky turn, and she kind of resorted to her own old ways. So we kind of like went through a lot.
So you say your mom resorted to her old ways. What is that? What are you
she started back getting on drugs.
Okay. So your mom was on drugs, and then at that point, life was kind of more of a struggle for you.
Yeah, it started like going downhill. Yeah. Like, it was like some days you wake up, ain't no lights. You stay in the house, the water off. It's just like stuff like that.
And is that kind of what led to your independence more so?
Yeah, that took a major toll on my life. That's how I am now. So it's some people, when their parents are a certain type of way, some people be just like them. Some people be like, nah, I ain't gonna be like that. And I think that's how I am. Like, I was like, nah, I can't be like that. Like, who want to wake up in the cold water, lights off, the water real cold?
I saw something on social media that said a father was a drunk, and he had 2 sons. And they said that one of the sons grew up, never took a drink in his life because he saw how that affected his father. Yeah. The other son turned out to be just like his father.
Yeah, it be like that. Yeah. That's really like relatable.
So one, kind of like took it in and repeated it, and then the other kind of learned from that. So you felt like you learned from your mom's mistakes.
Yeah.
So you say your mom, waking up, no lights sometimes, no water. So that led you to the stealing.
Yeah, to stealing and being more, figuring out like a way. Like, I started staying with my friend. Like I told you, my best friend. I lived with her. Like, we went to school together. It's just that, like, some stuff. Some people are like, some situations make you weak. And I feel like my mother's habit kind of made her weak. She was strong in different aspects, but that made her weak. So, and then it kind of like took a toll. But I can't like really knock her, because some things she made happen, like birthdays, like we celebrated and stuff like that once we got back with her. But some situations like made her weaker.
So you said it made her weaker. Why do you feel like it made her weaker? Let me ask you this. Do you know how your mom got started with drugs?
No. I don't know.
And do you know how long she was on drugs?
As long as I remember.
As long as you remember. So this is what? You're high school now?
Yeah.
And that's when you started realizing there were drug habits and stuff going on? Okay. And how long did the drugs last for you?
Till she
passed away. And at what age were you when she passed?
23.
You were 23. So, wow. That was a long time.
Yeah.
So, from kind of basically high school till you basically raised yourself almost, so to speak.
I can't take that away from her because she did raise us. It's just once I got like 13, I kind of like saw it coming back. She probably was doing it before, but I saw like the effect. You started to pick up on it.
Yeah. Do you feel like you picked up on some things that your mom may have?
I feel like, far as we're like different people, but far as like being like a strong woman and being kind of independent, yes. She kind of like sheltered her life. Like, she didn't bring a lot of people in. I feel like I kind of take that from her.
You take that.
Yeah.
So when she passed, what was that like for you?
Terrible.
Do you remember the day?
Yes.
Do you mind sharing?
I'm tearing up.
It's okay. Because I want to tear up too.
It was terrible. Oh God. Think about it.
I couldn't imagine. I still depend on my mom for everything, so it's like that young.
Yeah,
you get me started.
It's just like, I can't even talk.
Take your time. Take your time.
I feel like everything happened in life for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And some tissue.
I'm sorry, sis. I'm sorry. Oh, shit.
Just a little bit of tissue. Alright. Because it never gets old. Like I tell myself, like, okay, I'm going to the grave site. Like, I literally like cry every time. Because, like I stated earlier, she was like the one person that like didn't show favoritism. She always like justified something. Like, I could say, I'm gonna go rob the bank. She like, well, which bank, Shay? Like, you know, like as an example, like, she like, you sure you want to do that? This is not like she was a mother, but she was more as a friend. So
she was very understanding.
Very understanding. Like, we could be dead to the wrong. She'll make sense of it.
And that's probably from a mother's instinct. She probably understands her children, so she understands why you guys probably would do certain things that others may not see fit. You get what I'm saying? Because she's like, these are my children. So, you know, she probably could justify any and everything for you because at the end of the day, all she saw was her babies. Like,
yeah, she never let nothing, like, wrong. Like, my grandmother, like, we used to call, when we was growing up, we used to call my grandmother Mr. Burns. Like, Miss Burns. You ever seen The Simpsons? And she's like, because every time it was always calm. And then mom just did not let her, like, handle us. Like, when she around, it was just. So, when she passed away, it kind of took a toll on me. Because, like, not saying I was, but once I got older, I realized I kind of was, like, ashamed of her. Like, ashamed of her habits. So, it's like, when she passed away, it was like, shoulda, coulda, woulda. It was like, dang, I shoulda did this. Dang, I shoulda did that. Dang, I shoulda, like, you know.
You felt like it left a lot of wounds
there
that you can't even heal from.
Like, it was always like, we hung out, you know, but I was so busy. I always was on the move hustling, on the move stealing, on the move on the mall. Like, you know, but we had conversations. We do have good times. Laughs, I still replay in my head. But it was like, I was ashamed of her habit. Like, I wanted her to quit so bad. I wanted her not to do that.
Did you talk to her about it?
Yeah, she told me, Shay, you can't tell an addict no. I remember that. Like, she told me that. And it kind of like, dang, I don't, like, you know, like people, you know, you don't want somebody that you love doing that. So, it's, I don't know.
Like, her motto is you can't tell an addict no.
Yeah, you can't. And sometimes you can't. Some people are strong enough to overcome it. Some people like, this me, you gotta accept it. She was one of the people that this me, you gotta accept it.
Do you feel like as an adult, thinking back or like learning things about your mom's past, do you feel like that may be something that led her to drugs? Like maybe something happened to her in her life? Because I know sometimes a lot of people turn to drugs as like a coping mechanism. Like they may have been through things in life that they can't really cope with, and drugs kind of is a release for them. It's like an escape. Do you feel like some things like that may have been the reason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's something led to it, but you know, you always try to think that, oh, I'm strong enough, I can do that, but you never understood nothing until you're actually going through it. Right. So I don't know. I've heard she's been through some things, but I was in the back of her head knowing that this gon', like, you know, until you've been in that situation, and you be like, oh, this why, like, you know, if it makes sense.
So what was the cause of her death?
She had a brain aneurysm. Her brain started bleeding. And so she had high blood pressure. So I believe it was stress. And when you stress, you think so hard. And that's what happened.
Yeah, so that's deep. That was a kind of don't know where to follow from.
Yeah, it was sad. It was real bad when she we went to get something from her, and she was like, come on, I don't feel like staying in the house. Let me ride with y'all. So I was like, all right. And I never forget, she was eating curry chicken. It's just, everything just like, I never forget. And that's why I was coming from early when I was like, I feel like everything happened for a reason. So she didn't want to stay in the house. She was eating her food. So I was like, come on, we was going to Amscar. Right here on 22nd in Hillsborough. And then my sister went in there. I was like, going there to pay the light bill. She went in there to pay the light bill. Then I ended up getting, mom was like, her head hurt. And then I was like, your head hurt. And then instantly she went into a stroke. Right? In my front seat. So I'm like, Mom. Like, at first I ain't like knowing what's going on. So I'm like, then my sister come out. So we just rushed her to the hospital. And then we all meet at the hospital. They like, okay, she's stable, whatever like that. One person can go back to see her. I think it was one or two. I just know that I was one of the ones that went back to see her. And then she was right there. Then she just started throwing up and all that, like reflex and like throwing up. I'm like, what's going on? Like, the whole time. And then she went to critical condition. That was her last reflex. So she stayed there. Then it was like, like they pinch your toes, they do everything. And like you basically like brain dead because you're not giving no more responses or anything. And then she passed away. They had to take out the machine.
Did you guys have to make the decision to pull the plug?
We had to, yeah. Like, yeah, she was gone. She was gone. Like when she did that, when she did that last reflex, like she was gone. And I took it as it wasn't no more suffering. Like she was gone, and it was real bad.
So what was it like after her passing for you guys?
It's just like you can't call and say nothing. You can't call and be like, girl, look what I got today. Girl, like, I depend on her for a lot of stuff. Like, I used to fake cook and tell my boyfriend at the time, oh, I'm finna cook this and that. And I used to call like, come over here and cook real fast. It's just search her birth before she left my house. It's like, you stealing my stuff. Like, it was real bad. Like, I feel like after death, when you can't call no more, that's when it hurt the most. When you get like, oh, how you doing? When you can't do nothing. Like, in my opinion, everybody coped different, but it was like, even now,
Shit. Damn. Whew. So death is like kind of final. It's like, you feel like that's just the end. You can't really.
I mean, I guess, yeah, I had dreams about her, like her talking to me and stuff like that, but, I go to her gravesite. She had a birthday coming up, so I
When's
tried.
her birthday?
August 16th.
August 16th.
She died on August 18th.
Oh, wow. 2 days after?
Really? Yeah. Really, she had the stroke the day after.
The day after.
It did. Like, she came off on the 18th.
Damn. Okay, so you guys are on your own now.
I was 23.
Yeah, you were pretty much on your own, but now you don't have your mom to call on, like you say you can't, so what's happening now in life for you guys at this point after mom's passing?
I mean, we just just it's kind of like, you know, somebody, the best thing somebody told me before, they was like, Shaye, life goes on. And it kind of hurt us. Like, it's kind of like, you can't really understand it at the time, but you got to think about it. It do go on. Like, it's 21, it's been 7 years. I mean, it's going to be 8 years. So, it kind of go on. So, look how
you can't dwell on it. Right?
Yeah, you can't. It hurt. Like, but I kind of, like, put it to the back of my head and just, like, you know, you got to go forward with it.
Okay, so let's take a step back because we didn't discuss the juvenile. What was it like being in the juvenile program for you?
I was a thug, so it was kind of like I never like took with because I done did it a few times, jail, juvie, dub. It don't really affect me. Like, I'm kind of like built different. Like, I always take, like, how you say you adapt with your habitat. I ain't gonna say like I'm some hardcore, like I ain't never cried or nothing like that. But like time don't really affect me. Like, when I think about my family, I be like, dang, I missed them. Dang, what they doing? Like, you know, stuff like that. But juvenile, I was kind of like a wild child. So it was kind of like, I'm finna do this. And I was young. I was like 14, 15. Or 15, 16, one of the two. So it kind of like went by a breeze. I was there for like 10 months.
10 months in the program?
Yeah, 10 and a half months.
And how many times did you have to go to the program?
I went to a program once.
Oh, okay. But you did the dub program. That's 21 days, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And it was for shoplifting?
Shoplifting. I think a fray. That's like fighting in public place.
Okay. Do you feel like your experience in the juvenile programs, did that shape you in any way?
I feel like I should learn. I feel like the worst thing I did was didn't learn my lesson early.
You kind of felt like you could just keep doing what you were doing.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it didn't scare me straight. I should have been scared straight early.
Do you feel like your upbringing, like being that middle child and not having really too much of a care in the world, kind of made you like tough core? Like,
yeah, I feel like it was just me. And I'm kind of like that now. I kind of feel like everybody, I always have this thing like somebody against me, somebody this, and it's only me. Like, if Shaye don't do it, it ain't gonna be done.
So you feel like you have like an attitude like,
yeah,
everybody's always against you.
Yeah.
Now, as an adult, did you continue on getting in trouble?
Yes.
You said that like
yes. Because that's why I get that I wish I would have learned earlier. But like, as I said, I feel like everything happened for a reason. I feel like some things you go through, like, you gotta go through it.
Do you feel like, at what age do you feel like you learned your lesson with the getting in trouble with the law?
Like 29.
And you're 31.
31, like 2 years ago.
It finally clicked.
I'm like, yeah, 30, 29. I'm gonna be real, like, yeah. I'm like, oh, bro, I can't do that. Like, you know.
So you were shoplifting. Why do you feel like you had to shoplift?
To make money.
So you feel like that was your only means of an income?
Yeah, because it was all about fast money. And then I was kind of taken up under someone's wing. So when they took me up under their wing and I saw that they was living like this and I want to live like this, and I kind of was like, you come from a house that ain't got nothing, this person doing this, and it's kind of like.
So you kind of would like kind of how the dope game goes.
Yeah, basically.
An OG done turned on. Yeah. Okay. So you were turned on by someone else that was living a lavish lifestyle, and then it kind of intrigued you, and then now you're like, you know, I'm going to do it too.
So she used to tell me, oh, this how you steal, this and that. So I used to go back, my homegirls like, this what we going to do, this and that. And then it kind of like, you know, kept revolving, and here we are. Like,
here we are. Do you feel like you wish you would have did things differently?
Yeah, but experience the best lesson in life.
That's true. That is true. That is true. So what transitioned you to finally stop?
I caught a big case.
Caught a big case. Okay. Do you care? Can you talk about that case?
I mean, yeah, it ain't no Rico.
Okay. I'm just making sure. I don't know how that goes.
It's just stealing. I caught a big case.
You caught a big case.
And it was like, bro, you can't do this. Like, you know.
Yeah. So did you ever have to do a lot of time for stealing as an adult?
Yeah, I went to prison. I did 3 years in prison.
How old were you when you went to prison?
20. 20.
Oh, so you were 20, and then when you were 23, you got out.
No, I was 22. So you do, what was I 20? 2010, 2012, the middle. So you do 2.5 years.
2.5 years. Okay. And then, so as soon as you got out, your mother passed.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. That's deep.
And she was, when I was in, and that's like, in my program, like, prison didn't teach me anything either. Like, you know, like, I feel like once, I was just speaking about this earlier, like, once you have a hard, I feel like some people, when they have a hard time, that's when they learn their lesson. Like, you know, like, say you in jail in prison, like, you gotta wash clothes for soup. I'm sorry, you gotta wash clothes for soup. You gotta do this, and that. Like, I had it kind of made. Like, you know, like I had money. Yeah, like,
so you didn't have to struggle in prison.
I didn't have to struggle, so it wasn't like, you know, when you're getting out, it wasn't like, and
it wasn't something that really took a toll on you, because like you say, when you go there, it's kind of designed for you to kind of be on rock bottom, and you kind of gotta.
Yeah, like, as long as you got food and somebody writing, you could call home and all that. Like, it ain't good to go. Like, yeah, you away from your family. It was days that I'm like, bitch, I can't do this. Like, because it seems so far away. But.
So what was prison like?
To me, I was young, and I was in the YO camp, so we had to march. That's the only thing I hated. March.
What do you mean?
Marching like you like military marching.
Ooh, why? Do you know why?
Because they supposed to design you like the military, like to structure you. Like, I don't know. And when I went to prison, I was grown. Like, you know, I had my own apartment and all that. So it was like, y'all got me here with why are these children? I'm grown. Like,
you were like more with kids?
No, not kids. Like. One
like
side,
18.
Yeah, like 18. Like, you know, younger than me, and I grew up fast. So in my head, I was grown. Like, I was already had my own place. I was already going out, like, you know, stuff. So like
these babies, you did.
Yeah, like, I kind of was like,
like a mentor for them.
Yeah, like, it was just like, it was people that was grown, but you know, you could be grown, but your mind frame wasn't grown. I was already like grown in the mind.
Did you meet any friends that you still talk to?
Yes.
Yeah. Hold on. Did you guys like get through it together, like you guys?
Yeah, I had how many of us were? It was like I think I had like 4 friends I was like real tight with.
Real tight. And you still talk to all of them, or
no? Like 2 of them.
2 of them.
We're really 3, like, but mainly 2 of them that we're like close.
Okay. And okay, you come home from prison and you still haven't learned your lesson. Because you say you came home about 23 and you didn't stop till about 29, 30. So that's still like 6 years.
It's like a mind frame you gotta want to change. That's what I was saying. That's why I said my biggest thing. I wish I would have learned my lesson younger.
Because you kept going and you got in more and more.
It was just like all I knew was stealing. And once that's like you good at doing. How you like? Okay, I'm good at doing it. I'm gonna keep doing. You good at selling stuff. You gonna keep doing it because you feel like you good. You untouchable. Like, you know. And that's something I was really good at. Like, of course, it all comes with, you're going to go to jail, you're going to get caught. They might call you, put something in your purse. But at the time, I was really, like, good at it. And I was making a lot of money off it. That's been my way of life since.
It's mainly about the money.
Yeah, remember, yeah.